We have Tauseef Ahmed, advocate and political analyst, joining us. Gargi Nandi Roy is also a political analyst. Tauseef, uh, looking at what will be seen as a big setback for Mamata Banerjee, and yes, the timing is something that has been asked repeatedly by the TMC and other opposition leaders. The ED is not responsible for it, is what the Supreme Court has said.
No, Supreme Court has not given any clean sheet to ED. Rather, the ED will have to, explain and satisfy the court on the question that while under the law, ED is required to notify the state police before conducting any raid or search. In this case, on 8th of January, the ED started the raid at 6:45 a.m., but the intimation email was sent at 11:30 a.m., almost 5 or 6 hours later. So the malafide, the allegation of malafide on ED, coupled with the fact that they have been sitting on this case from last 2 years. 2 years ago, the last statement was recorded. The FIR was launched 6 years ago. The scam is allegedly from 10 years old. Therefore,
There are
the
larger
intent.
questions which emerge and, if not answered, shall lead to lawlessness. If central agencies are working bona fide to probe a serious offense, a question arises: can they be obstructed by party activities? That's what the Supreme Court has said today.
And the Supreme Court also took cognizance of the fact that the party chairman, Trinamool party chairman Mamata Banerjee, has a right to the confidential party documents that is lying with the I-pac office or the residence of Mr. Jain, and ED has no business to uh, take seizure of the election related document or political documents just before the election. So the right of a political party to the
It has been
confidential
upheld.
documents related to, yes. So
Yes.
therefore there's a balance. The question has to be weighed on the weighing scale. The
Okay.
verdict is all
Gargi?
not out yet.
Gargi Nandi, this is the way the Supreme Court order is going to be read by the political parties. Of course, you heard Sukanta Majumdar of the BJP. He saw this as a supreme slap. Here is Tauseef, who has his leanings clear. He's seeing it otherwise. Gargi, as a political analyst, what about you?
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for inviting. Maria, the country by now knows that there is no rule of law in West Bengal. But what we saw that day, it crossed all the limit. She brazenly crossed the line between governance and intimidation. So we know that she has been a fascist ruler, but what we saw that day was robbery in broad daylight by the fascist Didi Amin of West Bengal. Now, having said that, now Tauseef has been saying, why so many years old case now? I'll tell you why, Maria, because there are other raids also happening simultaneously. In October 2025, ED raided a businessman linked to the coal scam, Krishna Koyal. From there, they got the file which linked that scam to I-pac. Now also, Narendra Kharkar and Nirod Mondal and two another business where they are being integrated. So that's why, that's how ED got those links to I-pac. So when they will get the link, they will come now. And even Shubhendu Adhikari said how a contractor, there was a Jal Jeevan project for which center gave 8,000 crore to the state. So there was one contractor who got 178 crore. He had to give 16 crore to I-pac through Kagdeep Axis Bank. Ask him to deny whatever I'm saying and taking the name of the businessman. So that's why now ED went, and why the ED did not inform the police force. Maria, we all have seen how police force in West Bengal have been reduced to personal escorts of the TMC leaders. So do you think if police were informed beforehand, ED could not have reached Pratik Jain's house? They would have been arrested, or they would have removed everything before the ED would have reached. That's why in a state like West Bengal, the ED could not have informed the police, Because if they would have done so, they would have reached Pratik Jain's office or residence. That's for clear.
But the fact is that the election data is
Court.
confidential. If Mamata Banerjee had concerns with regards to the election data, it's confidential for any political party.
If it was confidential, if it was some related to all political data, she would have gone to the court. That was not the way, obviously, to snatch, to raid an existing ED raid. Have you ever seen in your lifetime of a journalist? You are a very veteran, senior, respected journalist in your entire journalistic career. Maria, can you please remember that you have seen anything like this? I don't think you have. And the law is same for every citizen in this country.
Point
if
taken.
You would have done that, or I would have done what she did.
Point taken, Gargi. Of course, it hasn't been seen. Anything similar to that has not been seen. But then, as we know that Mamata Banerjee reacts differently, and she perhaps took the took this move. I mean, she's a political leader who's known to be a street fighter. And that is the reason why the BJP is finding it tough in Bengal at the moment. So thank you so much for joining us.
BJP must have the slogan. Maria, you asked Sukanta could not give you the slogan. Let me give the slogan for Bengal. Jene gache janota, dakat pishi momota. Jene gache janota, dakat pishi momota.
Okay, what does that mean?
That the Janta, Bengal ki Janta jaan gayi. Pichi dacoit hai. So that's why our rhyme. Jene gache janota, dakat pishi momota.
That means the more you attack Bengal, again the Bengal will win.
All right,
I'm giving you the slogan, Jotoi koro hamla, abar jeetbe Bangla.
Okay, so we have heard two slogans already, Gargi and Tauseef. Thank you for joining us. That's all from me on this edition of News Track. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.